Hello and welcome. My name is Mackenzie Ferris, and today we'll be talking about why pit bulls are the best dogs. Okay, so what is the history of the pit bull? So the pit bulls were actually bulldogs that were bred with bull terriers in the UK because bulldogs were not as fast and agile as breeders wanted them to be. And so the breeding of a terrier and a pit bull commenced, and we have pit bulls. So they were brought to America in the 1870s from the UK by immigrants to become family fixtures, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, they had many fixtures in American society, from farm dogs to advertisement dogs. They were used as protection dogs. They were used in all kinds of things. But they were mainly known for being nanny dogs. Now, what is a nanny dog, you're asking yourself? Well, a nanny dog is a dog that takes care of the children. So back in the 1870s era, they did, but they didn't have time for children. And so it was kind of the dog's responsibility to take care of them. And because pit bulls were so nurturing and loving and just great dogs in general, I should say, they became known as nanny dogs. Now, what does a nanny dog look like? We'll go into that. So this is the first picture. So these are all from Google, by the way. So this is the first picture from the 1870s. As you can see, this little girl here has two pit bulls. Now, the interesting thing that I'm going to point out that you should know that is that pit bulls are not a specific, like a very specific breed. They're not like Chihuahuas or German Shepherds or even Golden Retrievers. There's a lot of differentiation between the different dogs. So as you can see, as the one on the left-hand side, he has a very longer nose. He has a longer face, I should say. And then the one on the floor, to the right, he has a very smushed nose. He has a shorter, pudgier face, like bulldogs do. And the one on the left is he has more of a face like a German Shepherd, I would say. So then, on to the next picture. So as you can see, this is a little boy. Let me move my little face out of the way so you can see him. So as you see, he has the very longer-ish face. But pit bulls were not just used as nanny dogs; they were used as protection dogs. So along with being the caretaker and the one that provided for the children, they also protected the children, and that's why you have the little leash on him. He's so cute. Okay. So move my face back so you can actually see me. Wonderful. So, and then as you can see, oh, my bad. Here we go. And then as you can see, he has the very short face, the very pitched face. He's very cute. I adore him. Anyways, but as you can see, he has the shorter face. And and I want to show you these pictures to show you the differences between all of the pit bulls. And the general advice for what a pit bull is usually, like, the main thing that's like the determining factor is their chest is 14 inches off of the ground. Now, why is that important? It's just kind of a common thing that happens between the breeds. So, or the breed, I should say, specify. But it's one of the main key factors in determining if that dog is a pit bull. But moving on to the next thing. So we are going to talk about Sergeant Stubby. Now, who is Sergeant Stubby? Well, Sergeant Stubby was from Hartford, Connecticut. He was smuggled in on a ship bound to France by the soldier in the 102nd Brigade. Oh my goodness. So you're asking yourself, why is this important? Why do we need to know about Sergeant Stubby? Well, Sergeant Stubby needs to be talked about, no, because he was such a morale booster, was such a icon and image to the soldiers in the 102nd Brigade, that even though he started out as a mascot, just to boost the morale during World War I, he became a war hero. Now, how did he become a war hero? That's the winning question. So he became a war hero because he had warned soldiers sleeping about gas that had been emitting by enemy soldiers. And he was able to wake them up, and everybody was able to evacuate before anybody was killed. Then the second thing that I like the most, because, well, sort of. Besides the point, he actually stopped a German infiltrator, affectionately given the name of Ankle Biter, because he bit the ankle of the German infiltrator enough to detain him for actual soldiers to come in and arrest him and everything. So then, within his life, he actually met 3 different presidents: Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, and Calvin Coolidge. Now, even though this is all happening, this wasn't just a kind of a one and all 3 kind of thing. It was throughout his life, and along his life, within being in the war and everything, he was also toured around America and was kind of the spokesperson for the war and everything. But unfortunately, he passed away in 1926 at 10 years old. He lived a very interesting life, we shall say. And then on to my next thing is pit bulls and advertisements. So I should go ahead and preface this. Pit bulls in the late 19th century, early 20th century were the golden retrievers of our century. Like how they're in any commercial that has a dog, it is usually a golden retriever. Back then, it was pit bulls. Now, pit bulls, because of Sergeant Stubby, he played a big factor, but he was not the key factor. Pit bulls were used in military propaganda. Pit bulls were named affectionately the, how do I say this? They were the American dog, I should say. They were what they wanted to portray as the American dog: loving but fierce, protective, all that wonderful jazz. So as you can see down here, they were painted as advertisements for the military. Now, if you go on to the left with the little goggles on the little guy, you can see they were not just military propaganda. They were advertising everything, and of course, auto. So because they were named the All-American Dog, in hopes to boost sales and everything, they went ahead and did advertising with pit bulls in them. Isn't that adorable? Moving on. So now we need to talk about myths surrounding pit bulls and why they are false. So pit bulls, the first point, pit bulls are more aggressive than other dogs. That is false because of the American Temperament Test Society. So they actually have the Institute of test for temperament test, or I should specify, temperament test for all breeds of dogs. And because of this, it is false. Well, it was shown that pit bulls actually have a higher rate of success in the temperament test than even golden retrievers. Bringing back my golden retriever analogy. So, and then, of course, my next point, pit bulls are more dangerous or likely to bite than others. That is false. So the reason that is false is because pit bulls, going back to the temperament test, pit bulls are naturally friendly and want to meet people. They're not shy. They love people. And the only reason why pit bulls would become dangerous or likely to hurt somebody is because of neglect, abuse, limited socialization with other dogs. So that's why there's this whole myth that pit bulls are more dangerous. So on to the next one, in conclusion to that one, pit bulls have locking jaw. That is physically impossible. No dog breed has the locking mechanics in their jaw to make it so they can lock their jaw. So it's just not true. And then the last one, pit bulls are not good family dogs, and that's why you see so many in the shelters. That is false. Going back to my first point, pit bulls are great family dogs because, one, they're nanny dogs. Two, they pass the temperament test. And with pit bulls being nanny dogs, they are, well, if they can raise a child, they can raise an adult. So some adults are children. Moving on. So then why do you see so many in shelters? So you see so many in shelters because pit bulls are a very popular breed. In 28 states, they are the top third breed to be adopted or, bought. And because of this, underground or black market, underground, and criminals will overbreed and produce so many pit bulls that there's just not always a home for them to go to. And so they're sent to shelters, unfortunately. So if you're looking in the market for a dog, you should go adopt, because adopting is wonderful and adopting a pit bull is even better. But unfortunately, of course, with all these myths surrounding pit bulls, people are very wary and don't want to go near pit bulls, which is sad, but kind of the truth of everything. But my point exactly why you should go adopt them. Then moving on. So Pitbull's temperaments. Now, this is directly related to my last slide. So Dunbar in 1899 said that saying today's pit bulls are so excited and happy to meet new people, and owners worry about them protecting their homes and families. So because of the temperament test, not because, but because dogs are so nice and friendly and want to go meet everybody, people worry that they won't protect their homes, but instead will go lick and kiss the intruder in the house, unfortunately. And with my next point, of course, while pit bulls are friendly, they can be trained and have a great ability to learn and train. That is also very true. Pit bulls make great protection dogs. It's just you have to get them trained. Now, a show that I like to bring up, he's a more advertised, out there kind of person about his canine protection business, is the Dog Dynasty. As you'll see, he is mainly a pit bull protection service trainer, and while he does breed, he does do it ethically. But he has a great saying, and paraphrasing here, but great pit bull protection dogs cannot be great protection dogs if they can't love the family. Paraphrasing here. So with being protection dogs, they have to have the right mentality and the right personality for this to work. And because if they don't, they can get aggressive and could possibly hurt the family. And pit bulls are naturally great protection dogs because they have this innate ability to be friendly and lovely with almost anybody. And then another point to my next point, pit bulls actually have one of the highest passing rates in the temperament test. And because of this, they are named the nanny dog. Bringing back the nanny dog in the temperament test. Pit bulls are just like, if you're looking for a dog that'll love you and will just kind of do whatever, pit bulls are just wonderful, wonderful dogs. So then moving on. So in sum of everything, so why are pit bulls the best dogs ever? And so pit bulls are just the best dog ever, and you should adopt them. They're just wonderful dogs. So why though? Why am I pushing so hard for this to be? Why am I pushing so hard for you to love them and adopt them and just make them family dogs? Well, they're super relaxed and friendly, leading to them having a history and the name of nanny dogs. And back to my earlier statement, if a pit bull can raise a child, they can raise an adult. Enough said there. But they were such good moral boosters that one of them became a sergeant during World War I. Sergeant Stubby, we love him. They were advertised everywhere because they were seen as an all-American dog, and they deserve all the love they can get. Look how cute his face is. Look how cute they are in pajamas. They're just adorable. You should adopt one. And then, as a finale, here's my reference page. Any information that I've spoken about today, you can get from these references, I should say. I want to thank you guys for coming out to my presentation. I thoroughly enjoyed explaining all this, even though this is a very opinionated, persuasive speech. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the pictures I shared. As you can see, I had to include in my final thing, burrito pitbull and a CP pitbull. They're so cute. You should love them. Go adopt. Please go adopt. They're all looking for a home, and they need somebody to love them. If I could, I would adopt everybody. It's not possible, and I think my apartment complex would hate me. Besides the point. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed everything, and thank you so much for coming out to my PowerPoint. If you guys have any questions, email me. That's it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.